This is Dan from MSS Endureless. Welcome to the channel. This is Dan from MSS Endureless. I was cleaning out some of my hard drives and I found this amazing video on food storage from the LDS Church, which I'm a member of. So I thought I would share it with you. So let's get started.
On worst case scenario, I'm a detail person, and it just, I thought, well, what if there's a flood? What if there's an earthquake? What if there's a nuclear war? What if? And so I just gave it the worst case scenario. I said, if we lost all electricity, lost all water, all power from the city, if I was on my own in my backyard, could I survive and feed my family? In the summertime, I would probably kill myself, so I don't need a whole year's supply, maybe just 6 months. But in the wintertime, we can survive. And that's the program here. We've got a solar oven for cooking. We've got all kinds of foods that are pre-cooked or prepared or whatever. And you can, with the water storage, who thought that up? Raise your hand. That cool thing back there. You are cool. I am so impressed. I walked in and went, look at that. I'm taking this home and I'm going to, in fact, I'll probably start, can I put it in my book? I'll get your name and put your credit on there because, we all get so much credit for what we do. Pay you later, like I get paid. All right. You can survive. That's the whole program here, worst case scenario. I can feed my family 365 days with what I've got in my house if everything else shut down. Now, if everything doesn't shut down, I'm going to be dancing in the street thinking I've got a stove that all I have to do is turn on the heat and I've got running water, but I'm not planning on that. I'm planning on a New Orleans scenario without all the water. We're not going to get a flood here, I wouldn't think. Okay, the system. In your book, and you don't have to turn to it right now, but page, probably the last page there. No, it's not. You guys didn't get an index, did you? There's no index page. Yeah, you'll just have to guess where everything is in the book. Whoever got the book from me, let's get an index page, because there should have been an index page, and we'll make up copies and just give them to whoever wants them. So leaders, get with me and we'll get that, because that's kind of an important page. The system itself is really, really simple, and it's what I taught for 15 years. Like 10 years ago, I was just teaching this, and that was kind of a neat system on how much is a year's supply of food. You are going to choose 7 meals that your family likes, 7 breakfasts and 7 dinners. My husband said, where's lunch? I said, honey, we're going to get up late, we're going to go to bed early. Not doing lunch. So if you want to do lunch, have a good time, do whatever you want, but I just do breakfast and dinner. We've got, if you're doing dinner, now you can choose 7 dinners, 7 breakfasts. You multiply it by 52. There's 52 weeks in the year. If spaghetti's one of your meals, you're going to have it 52 times over the year's time. Okay, 52 weeks times 52. Let's say it takes a pound of spaghetti and a jar of ragu to feed your family. You're going to buy 52 pounds of spaghetti noodles, 52 jars of ragu. You've got a year's supply. Move to your next recipe. Everything in it, you multiply by 52, you've got a year's supply. It's just that simple. Now you know down to the teaspoon of salt how much is a year's supply for your family. My personal food storage has 14 dinners, 9 breakfasts, and about 12 desserts. Chocolate cake, chocolate pudding, chocolate brownies, chocolate chip cookies. Your imagination is just about the only thing that's going, and your budget will be the time out there. But really, there are so many things that can be part of your supply. I like soups and stews and chilies because they're very simple to eat, to cook in the solar oven. They're one-pot meals. They're filling. They're not real expensive. You just can't have steak and baked potatoes. It's just not going to work. But there are a lot of things out there that you would never have thought could be food storage. So in the book, you're going to see lots of recipes, probably 14 different dinner recipes, Parmesan chicken and beef stew and all kinds of interesting things that you wouldn't have thought can be food storage. You are welcome to use the recipes. Absolutely go for it. Keep in mind, they are very basic recipes. My chili may not be half as good as your Grandma Ethel's chilies recipe. So what I'd like you to do is use the recipes to see what kind of things can be used, what kind of things, how to cook them in a solar oven. Like if you've got a killer recipe for chili, go ahead and see how mine works, how much it makes, how long it takes, and then use yours to do the 50 times 52. So if you're doing your own recipes, on page 21 of your book, when you're doing your own recipes, let's say you're making that chili and it takes a pound of pinto beans and a tablespoon of chili powder, you know, a couple of the things that are in there. You're going to say, all right, on this sheet of paper that is, you know what, that's the equivalencies. You didn't get a shopping list either, guys. I'm so sorry. See, I never know what's going to show up. You'll have to make your own shopping list. Start with A, apples, apricots, blah, 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 all the way down to yeast or whatever you have in it. Typical things that are going to be in your food storage. Do it on the computer so you can move everything around if you get it alphabetically out of line, and then print it up after you get that. But you've got probably a 3-page sheet of all these different things. Let's say pinto beans. You put down pinto beans, you're going to have 52 pounds of pinto beans and 52 tablespoons of chili powder for your chili recipe. You're going to go to the equivalencies page after you've got all your ingredients from all your recipes on your shopping list. You just, you know, say like, if you have salt, and the first recipe takes 52 teaspoons, and the next one takes 26, you go 52, 26, Every recipe that you put down, you're going to keep a running tally of the salt, sugar, anything that goes in it. When you're done, you're going to be able to add that up and say, my whole year supply for all of my meals, I need 487 teaspoons of salt. Woo, okay, you go to this equivalencies page on 21, which you do have, and you see salt says that 1.5 tablespoons in an ounce, one of those containers of salt, is 26 ounces, equals 39 tablespoons or 117 teaspoons. So you're going to know by that and everything else that is on here exactly how many containers of salt, how many cans of apples, everything that's on there. This is a pretty concise list of things that go in food storage. So using this, you'll be able to translate your recipes into cans of apples, tablespoons of salt, or how many containers of salt. Okay, any questions about this system itself? Pretty simple, isn't it? See, that used to be my whole class. I'd be done by now. All right, make your own menus. I take the little cards because I'll answer questions and then I get off track and I don't want to forget anything. Yes, sir?
Sister Quinn, is there anything else? I know this is a great comprehensive list. Is there any source like on the computer for other items that have equivalencies?
No, because I did those all by myself with my little teaspoon and my little cup and everything, one by one. My children thought I was obsessed. They were going to send me to a psychologist, and I didn't, because I wasn't doing this at the time. I was just doing my own food storage. So that's just, you'll have to sit down with your teaspoon and your little 4th cup and do your own. You're welcome. All right. Where do you store a year's supply of food? People have come up with all kinds of ingenious things, little tables with tablecloths over the top, and there's 500 pounds of wheat under it, and you know, you'd never guess. You don't have to do that. A whole year's supply for one person using this kind of a system will fit into 10 of the boxes like you get from the cannery that holds the 6 number 10 cans. 10 boxes fit under a twin-size bed. It's perfect. I mean, it just slides right under there. You've got your whole year's supply under one bed. You want to keep everything, well, let's see. Twin-size bed, don't store in the garage. You do not want your food in the garage, with the exception of a few items. Wheat is one of them. You can store wheat in your attic where it gets to be 180 degrees. Really, really hot, really, really cold, wheat does fine. So don't think that you have to keep your wheat in the house. Sugar, you can keep that outside. Toilet paper, you know, that's about it. Everything else you should keep inside. Don't can baking powder or baking soda. Don't do anything to those. Leave them in their original containers because they tend to blow up. So keep that in mind. Sugar, don't can your sugar. I know it comes canned, but they have to do that for, you know, FDA regulations, things like that. Sugar doesn't go bad. It goes hard. You get a baseball bat, give it a tap, it's back, it's no problem. Keep sugar, get those big buckets, the big 5-gallon buckets, and either line it with plastic and pour the sugar in if you want to save space, or just put the sugar bags in there and then just put the lid on it. And your sugar is good forever. It just doesn't, I shouldn't say forever, years and years, 20, 15, 20 years, your sugar should stay good. It's wasting money to put it in a can and put a packet in it. It costs you $1 to do that, so don't can your sugar. I know you do that in the 1-month kits, but if you're not going to do the 1-month kits, if you're going to do the 7 meals, then you will get specifically what you want. 1 month kits, it gives you a whole can of sugar and a whole can of wheat. That sugar is just not going to, it's going to far outlast the wheat. So decide how you want to do that. Rotation was always a problem. I'd go in and I'd think, I've got 50 pounds of spaghetti here somewhere, and it's just not there. Or things go bad. You go in there and you go, oh, I didn't know that was 27 years old. I have powdered milk that's 27 years old. You know what? It's still good. It was Milkmaid or something like that. It's still good. So, don't throw anything out until you look at it. And honestly, sometimes you'll open something up and it smells bad. Oats are notorious for that. Yeah, it smells bad. Doesn't mean it is bad. Unless it's green and crawling away. Just put it in a large container, shake it up, let it air out. 90% of the time it will come back. It's just taken on the smell of the can. So please, when you open things, don't assume it's bad. Give it a little time, a few days to air out. Let's see, the rotation. Everything that I do in this rotation system is based on long shelf life. I'm all about how long can I make this last, because that means I don't have to rotate it very often. The shortest shelf life I have is 3 years, and that's potato pearls and powdered milk. And quite honestly, if you keep it in a cool, dark place or dry place, it will last longer. I have powdered milk and potato pearls that are 5 years old, and they're still good. Sometimes the potato pearls will go a little dark. We call them toasted. So, they still taste good. Yes?
Since a lot of us don't have basements here.
I know. Usually I say a cool, dark place. I'll go, where is there a cool, dark place in the Valley of the Sun? Unless you're dead.
Yeah, 75, 80 degrees, typical house temperature.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yep, 80 degrees, anywhere between 78 and 82, depending on if it's summer. Interesting that we can live with 78 degree weather when it's wintertime, but in the summertime we can live with 82. Anybody else do that? Just me? You're going to be really, really hot in the summer, and it's okay. Just, turn that up a little more. Rotation, back to rotation. The process here is you make all your list. You get your shopping list made up. You watch for the sales. This is a really great way to do it, because when spaghetti goes on sale, you go out and you buy your whole 52 pounds or whatever it is that you need. You get it on sale. In a timely manner, and I don't mean in a week or even a month, but in a timely manner, you buy all your food storage that's on your list. Keep your list with you wherever you go, and when you find things on sale, you'll know how much you bought and when you bought it. You're going to store under your beds. Whatever's under your bed cannot be more important than your family's temporal salvation, so take it out and put something else, put it somewhere else. You get your like potato pearls and powdered milk, things that have the shorter shelf life, keep them in the same area so that you're not, when it's time to rotate, you're not going through every room. You get a little book. The little book is your food storage book, and you're going to say 15 cans of powdered milk in September of '05. And it goes under the bed. Whatever else, it all goes under the bed, and you keep a list. Becky's room has all these different things, and John's room has this. Every year, say New Year's Day, you get your book out. You go through it and you say, oh, look, 3 years ago I canned powdered milk and potato pearls, and they're going to expire. They're not quite yet, but when they get close to expiration, I give it the 3 years, because it really does last longer if you take good care of it. Don't store it in your garage. You look at that and you say, well, I'm going to have to replace my powdered milk and my potato pearls because it's been 3 years. So you go in, you go to the cannery, you look at your list, you did 15 cans of potato pearls, you go to the cannery, you can 15 cans of potato pearls, you bring it back, you take the old stuff out, you put it in your pantry, your kitchen pantry, or you give it to your children, or do whatever you want to do with it, and you put the fresh under the bed. You now have a whole year's supply, and once again, you've got 3 years to go, because most of the things in the food storage that you have here has a 5, 10, 20-year shelf life. Some of it is indefinite.
Hey, this is an hour-and-a-half presentation, so I'm splitting it up into several sections. If you guys would like to see more, please leave that in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you. So until next time, this is Dan from MSS Endureless. Take care of each other.